Content warning. The following will include discussion surrounding harassment, depression, and suicide ideation. If you are not in the correct headspace to discuss this topic, please don't continue. Your mental health is more important than a silly video. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's not beat around the bush with this one. A content creator by the name Destroyer Shy has been wrapped into a number of controversies for the past few months. The most relevant of them borrowed from a video he made with the aforementioned in the Temple Times commentaries group on Keyblade Mastery. Primarily, the main thing at the center was a point that Shy made, defending himself from being labeled a harasser. The problem in this particular situation was that Key didn't call him a harasser, and there's been a plethora of disagreement about it between Key's friends and Shy's friends on not just Key's original video, but several other videos, such as Emo Ward's commentary on the first video from Temple Times, Barrel Chord's tie-up with Cyrodiil and Blazing Hope on the aforementioned commentary, and recently, Tone of the TV's tie-up with Cardboard 101 and Keyblade Master on Ed's Friends. There have been so many moving parts around this situation that it's not funny. This includes some matters that should remain private, but aren't for some reason. This is where we transition into OG Scott. There's nothing to go off of for this individual as their account is new, and there's only this video to their name. I'll tell you this though, it's a very bad first impression. Here's their video to Shy.
Destroyer Shy, a well-known person who recently, and by recently I mean back in September of 2022, before that, he makes shitty videos with no real effort put into them.
So out the gate, we're greeted with a 1x1 video, yes, really, some of the worst audio balancing I've been put through, only rivaled by Oswald's Among Us rant, and a peculiarly odd introduction with text-to-speech. I call it peculiar because despite how it is effectively scripted, it has bizarre structural choices. That said, shitty videos with no real effort put into them, and he shows videos that are shitposts and clips from other channels. Okay, tell me why I should care about videos he was making before he entered the counter Cinema Sins Brigade. Is that what we're calling it? I don't know, I don't care.
But since September, he became known as someone has beef with Tony Sonic, and to some extent, still does but hides it.
Who wants to guess the issue at this part? 3, 2, 1, nothing to even show that any animosity between the two exists. Shy and Tony Sonic have obviously worked out the differences as apparent as by how they've collaborated on a video on my birthday. Huh. If you want to say Shy has hidden beef, come with some evidence or shove off.
He made a video back in January 2023, and while there's very little to say other than how shit it is, he made a rather interesting argument at the end of it. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the part in question due to him cutting it out. But it boils down to him saying if you disrespect Chariot 5, I'll leak information, which is what we call blackmailing.
For the record, Scott will have little clarification notes throughout his video, hence why I didn't refurbish it. They will play into some problems I have, so... Matt, can you do me a favor? I have some more things you can read.
Acknowledged. I know it's archived, but I unfortunately don't have access to it. That being said, plenty of people can confirm it. For context, Tony Sonic was gonna make an Everything Wrong with Chariot 5's Everything Wrong with Undertale before he was harassed by a number of people and had to drop the project to avoid further backlash.
Blow really wanted to just play the dude trust me angle. I'll admit, a glut did happen, and I have a source for you. The tie-up with Bill included a clip of it.
And like I said earlier in the video, if you do what I think you're gonna do in your Undertale video, trust me, I will put your ass on blast so hard, you won't know what hits you. And I will leak all the messages about what you did in Discord too. So don't think I won't. And even if somehow something happens to me, I have several people who have my information too. So in the event something happens to this video, or to me personally, they have my permission to upload this video and upload every single thing you've done there.
However, you're pretty late to the party, not only because Shy didn't follow through on the threat, but to reiterate, they hashed out their differences. And as far as Tony Sonic being harassed into not making the Undertale response, that's a claim you should be able to find. It's not like Tony Sonic wouldn't talk about it. I hope you have something more than this.
He was laughed, mocked, and even ridiculed by the commentary community.
No, you cannot just attach the commentaries made on his codes with the aforementioned to the blackmail threat against Tony Sonic. The two don't correlate.
For the record, nobody was talking about the SA2 video specifically, but it has been brought up in passing.
As in the Bill tie-up like I mentioned. The commentaries by Raven and Emo don't mention it. Period. I also don't like how you say the community mocked and ridiculed him. A grand majority of it hadn't even talked about him, and those that did only gave criticism or argued with him. To say he was ridiculed is a misguided interpretation at best, or a flat out lie at worst. Learn the difference between criticism and mockery. It'll do you some good in the future.
I was in a Seaver with him during that time. It was a server by the user Blaze the Movie Fan. and he tried to wiggle his way out by treating to off myself.
So I know the SIVO he's talking about, the slideshow commentary community center. I'm an admin of it, but not a highly active one because public servers aren't my thing. And despite his note, no, it wasn't deleted. And having scanned all of the Destroyer-Shy's messages there, no, letting to off himself isn't in any of the messages. Where this interaction was is anyone's guess. I'll include a video of all the messages he sent in the server. You guys might be noticing a pattern. It's really frustrating.
Now that end of it, Self is pathetic, but to make matters better, nobody believed he would and would. You look at that, he's still alive and kicking. It's very telling he did all that just to come off as sympathy baiting and mocking those who do have those issues.
Oh, I see. We're gonna utilize the Prison Mate Luke playbook? Gonna say that because Shy didn't fucking kill himself, that means he was trying to sympathy bait his detractors? Do you have any idea what you're saying, or is there just a rancid liquid inside that dick skull of yours? Suicide ideation doesn't just not exist because the person didn't go through with the act. It's absolutely disgusting you would try to dismiss the turmoil he could be suffering through for some stupid gotcha moment. Get one over by its line.
It's honestly amazing how he's still around when he gives so little of a shit about facing the music. But what do I expect from someone who likes Helluva Boss, who has edgy humor and the likes?
Those things have nothing to do with anything related to what Shy has done. Listen, use that glow liquid of yours, shake it up until you churn a nice butter if you need to, and try to make a coherent point because all you're doing is making yourself look like a clown. Well, that's an insult to clowns. They at least know how to entertain people and can make $40,000 a year. You're just a piece of shit.
The fact there are 4 videos basically calling him out along with a few more on the way should tell you this. Destroyer-She is not a good person.
A user who was friends with him gave me this information but asked to remain anonymous at this time.
AKA, someone who is complicit with this video and leaking shit. Fantastic. See, this is why I talked about shit not remaining private. Also, overstepping states. The videos that have been made on Shy don't dictate his character and the future ones won't either. Maybe phone that friend of yours and ask them for a clue because you desperately need it.
I would say he's worse than someone like the Ephraim Manowar, but that would imply he was any good to begin with.
And what the fuck is the barometer that helps us figure out the meaning of that? I have my own opinions of Ephraim and his work, but who is he to you and why should I fucking care?
Then again, considering he was originally in the group called the Tsetse, this should come as no surprise. He was even removed from the group because of how terrible is he.
It's not his fault the acronym of Ephraim's group sounds silly. And the fuck is the barometer for this? He got kicked out the group. So what? Who cares? Do you have more than just petty hogwash here for me? Or do I need to start skipping around in a 3-minute video due to you refusing to make a damn point?
There's also the fact he uses his friends just to deflect any and all forms of criticism, and when called out for it, Diaz tries to deny it and tries to off himself again.
Hey numbnuts, remember when you were showing screenshots about trivial shit? Where the fuck are they here? Him using his friends to deflect from criticism would be a valid critique, but you have no trust with me. You've already shown to be a shit narrator. Point me where this is happening or swallow a railroad spike.
Honestly, it's kinda disgusting how he's so quick to use that just to get people to leave him alone. Destroyer-Shy, if you truly feel that way, then do it. Stop talking about it and just do the community a favor and just leave.
If you guys thought this trauma wasn't doing enough by claiming Shy was sad-fishing his detractors, here he is outright telling Shy to just kill himself. Get bent. Shy's worst mistakes come down to an unnecessary glut over a video, being stubborn at times, and making content that can be lacking. He doesn't deserve this bullshit, and you're fucking scum of the earth for using his mental anguish against him. And I want this made clear for a particular cloud. This shit here, that's what you can call harassment. Someone who is making a pot shot against another's shitty wording, that's not harassment. I'm calling some people out, yeah, I don't care.
You're nothing more than a joke to them. He'll just disappear for a few days and then come back and act like nothing has happened. I know some of you will say, well, maybe he's depressed, and to that I say, sure slugger. But that doesn't really matter since he's shown no signs of it, and even then, he's nobody special.
He can't be depressed because he shows no signs of it. Says who? You? Fuck you. Mental health masking. People sometimes prefer to keep their symptoms hidden for various reasons. In fact, look at that. Hidden depression. It's almost like assuming someone isn't depressed because they don't show it is a fucking smooth lane asinine take. Also, you will just disappear for a few days and come back and act like nothing has happened. Someone says they're gonna kill themselves, commonly after a mental breakdown or low point, but is able to not go through with the act. Then after that happens, they hide for a few days and try to avoid talking about what happened. Well, as a functionally thinking person who happens to be able to produce this little thing called empathy, I can come to the logical conclusion that they might be feeling embarrassed about the ordeal, or worried about how they made their friends feel, and may just want to move past it. I will say that they should also speak to someone close to them privately and have that person relay that they're okay to others that witnessed the episode. Communication is key, y'all. I know you have the emotional maturity of an ant, but this is getting stupid.
He's replaceable with no real talent outside of being a joke. Actually, that would probably be a better suit for him. Joker shy. Nah, even that's too good for him. I'm more concerned how he managed to get nearly 500 subscribers with shit like this.
Probably because he delivers content to a niche crowd, something that's not as easily replaceable. There are people that find value in Shy for being himself. Something that's significantly easier to replace is the obnoxious faggot with text-to-speech that thinks goading someone into killing themselves over stuff he answered for makes him look like a better person. That can be substituted for something of value and purpose.
Maybe I'll make a video calling out his commentary, but considering how much of waste that would be, and how shallow he is, maybe not.
I wouldn't bank on it being of any value to anyone. Save us the trouble. I'm not looking to make a part 2.
I should also note he tried to start shit with Keyblade Master by insinuating he sent harassment to 4 people just to try damage control. That also ended up not working, but it's just more proof he's nothing more than an evil piece of shit.
Something of relevance finally being brought up with just 30 seconds left of your video. GG. Now I have my own feelings about Shy claiming Key was calling him, S-Flans, Birdman, and Shadow Wolf harassers of Tony Sonic, which is the actual thing that happened. Those being that Key wasn't and didn't even insinuate such. What he did do was take a portrait of what he saw was absurd wording from Sonic King, a portrait that he didn't even see as serious. What reason Shy came to that conclusion, or what was going on adjacent to that, is irrelevant. Key's video wasn't an attack on anyone, and he states to be against all forms of harassment, so Shy shouldn't have been in any trouble. With all that aside, to call Shy evil is a stretch and a half. People can just come to poor conclusions. You should be able to sympathize with that, but it won't shock me if that goes over your head. Damage control? You could make the case that it exists for himself. Are you going to, though? Of course not. Why follow through with anything?
All I know is this. Destroyershi, get off YouTube and leave any all platforms. You're a horrible person with no good traits to even back it up. Everyone hates you and no Kid H wants you around. The very few that somehow do only see you as a joke. That's all I have to say. In any case, why not leave a dislike on his videos to tell him how terrible he is while you're at it? I'm Og Scout, and I'll see y'all next time.
And the ending is just destructive bullshit, telling him to leave his platforms, that his friends see him as nothing, and incentivizing his audience to dislike bomb his videos. Sorry, F1, people like hearing my thoughts on what I heard before I respond to them. Shut the fuck up. Let's move on to final thoughts and wrap this up. To conclude on this masterful class of work, here's what I have for you, Scout. You are not worth any more of my time. Do not talk to me, do not talk about me, do not fucking perceive me in this plane of existence. You're a goddamn blight that serves no purpose. You lack brains, you lack empathy. You are not someone to be trusted to talk about anybody, let alone Shy. And it will be a miracle if you don't somehow get a community guideline strike for this shit. Keep his name out of your mouth, and fuck off.
Pardon. I know we're almost close to ending this response, but Stag has asked me to relay some additional thoughts as new developments occurred during production. As this video was being worked on, Beryl Cord made a commentary on the video Stag was covering. Scout had seen this video and came into the comments, where he doubled down on his takes, argued with people about what he said, and claimed intent on people going against him. I want to first bring up that if you had any hope that he was a troll, these actions shut that down outright. I would also like to call out a handful of comments. His own comment has some falsehoods attached, particularly him changing the meaning of his statement from what his video said.
Destroyershi, if you truly feel that way, then do it. Stop talking about it and just do the community a favor and just leave.
The interpretation doesn't get clearer. You told him that he should just kill himself. Even with this new interpretation considered, it doesn't help you in the slightest. It could be read as the literal same thing, or at its best, incredibly callous, as it tells someone to not express their suicidal ideation as if they would do so just because, when in reality it's normally said during a mental breakdown or in fear of their own psyche. That would only get you so far, as there's much more problems to be had, such as your claim that Shy is sadfishing. On that note, you claim the proof that he was sadfishing is because he's still around and hasn't changed. We've already gone over how you're not doing yourself any favors against the claim that you didn't tell Shy to kill himself. What I'll note for this is the vague quantity of change. What is determining that he has not? If the people around him believe that he has or that he's attempting to, then you have no argument. It's also quite telling that you would demand proof from others on Shai's mental state, yet hold to the idea that Shai is lying while you have nothing showing that. Cognitive dissonance is not a healthy substitute for critical thinking. And then the claims of people suddenly joining Shai's side. Let's start with saying that Shai's mental state was not even a factor when it came to whether people forgave him or not, if it even occurred to begin with. Most of what could occur would happen behind the scenes, and whether they're addressed depends on the individual. Tony Sonic is an example as shown by him promoting their co-op and chatting with him on YouTube comments. Stag himself has rarely interacted with Shai and didn't appreciate his actions in the second Temporal Times commentary, but when he learned of your video, he was absolutely enraged by it, finding your claim that Shai was sadfishing to be abhorrent. He hated it when the claims were lobbed at Hopeless Peaches by prison mate Luke and at Kai Weiss by Carmen Ryder, and it being lobbed at Shai was no exception. To conclude, I'll leave with what Stag said when he saw you, as he puts it, coping in the comments. Brother, consider that you're just trash.
What a waste of 5 pages of script and space on my Google Drive. Goddamn. Destroyer Shai, if you're watching this, I do hope you're okay and this guy didn't get under your skin. Regardless of what disagreements we have, I do wish only the best for you. To the rest of you, make sure your friends are okay. Ignore that piece of shit, please. Let him wivel into nothingness and be forgotten. Meanwhile, we can chill and have some fun. I have plenty more projects underway and a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I hope to see you all there. Have a great one and take care.